Okay, all right. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday from wherever you are. I trust that you're actually safe, that you are in your home, taking care of your family in on total protection. Today, I want to chat with you with something that, there's different beliefs out there, and I want you to go here. To go ahead and share down below if you believe in paying your house. Okay, let me know down below because I think it's one of those things that some people believe on paying their properties, or in this case, the house that you live in. If you believe that you should pay it, let me know down below. If you believe that you should not pay it, that you should have debt on it, let me know as well. And the reason I wanted to touch, this topic today, it's because, it's interesting to see how many people they think that it's better to have a paid house. Now, I think it's a belief aspect. Now, one of the things that I think, and I'm going to share obviously the differences, it's going to truly depend, ladies and gentlemen, because and make sure that obviously that you share this video with others so that we can also hear their opinion. Whether you believe that it should be paid or not, let me know down below. Go ahead and share it. Now, the interesting thing is the following, is the fact that, what is better, to have a paid house or to actually owe the property that you live in? And it will depend on the goal. It'll depend on of what type of investor you're in. If you're an investor that are you a calm investor, or are you, an investor that is seeking growth? And I think that's very important to distinguish and to differentiate. And the reason why, it's because if the interest rate on your home, you're able to get it for, 3 or 4%, depending on, what type of rate, what type of loan that you're getting. There's so many different factors that plays an important role here. But it also, one of the most key important things right now, it has to do with, if for instance, what is your goal? What is your goal? Because, I remember when my wife, when we first got our property, and I told her about it. I told her, listen, I don't believe I'm paying my home when we can leverage the debt on our property. And what is it that I mean by that? This is what I mean by that. As a real estate investor, we got, hard money loans, or we got properties that we pay, as an example, 9, 10, 12% interest rate. And if in our house we're paying 3.9, why should we pay the 3.9% loan when we should be basically paying the 9, 10, 11, 12% loan? Okay, so that's one way of viewing it. All right, that's one way of viewing it. If you got multiple debt, and which one would you pay? Would you pay the debt that it's 3.9% as an example, or would you pay the debt that it's at 9, 10, 12%? So it's interesting, right? Now, leave me a message below of whatever your belief is. But I think that in order to understand whether you should have a paid house versus a house with a debt, with a lot of debt, or with, a very cheap interest rate, or a debt with very, inexpensive rate, it's really going to depend if what is your goal. It's going to depend if your goal is to be a calm individual, be comfortable with no worries, you're not seeking growth, you're not concerned on high return on your money, then you know what, it's probably better to go ahead and have it paid. But if you're like, an investor that is seeking growth, that you want to multiply your money, that you are, obviously seeking for a higher rate, a higher rate of return in your money, you want your money to work harder for you, then you may want to learn how to use, good debt as a leverage, right? So, there's not good or bad answer here. It just depends. It's truly going to depend on what is your end goal. If your end goal is to not worry, is to, be calm, is to stay, home and not have to worry whether you got to make payments or things like that, then that's the route. Then that's a great route. But if you're really looking for growth, multiplication on more properties, you're looking for even a concentrated or an intensive growth, then it's always better to have a higher return on your money if you're that type of an investor. Now, if you're just a regular natural retail buyer, or maybe that you got into real estate by accident, or maybe because you dream of having your home. I will never forget, having the age around about 14, 15 years of age and wanting to own my very first property. And interesting enough, I thought that one day I would have my house fully paid. And I was actually, learning that journey, that it was going to take me 30 years to pay my home. And if in fact does take you 30 years, just prepare yourself that you're going to pay 3 times what you paid for that house, around about 3 times in a period of 30 years. So in reality, I just want you to understand the following. It really depends on the end goal, which strategy is better for you. I'm not going to tell you which strategy is going to be better for you, but one thing is certain. The strategy that I believe is better for me, it's to owe money in real estate, because it gets you tax benefits, it gets you leverage, it gets you multiplication. But that's, if in my case, that works best because I'm in the trenches, because I want money to work hard for for me. Why? Because for a long time I work extremely hard for the assets. Okay, so anyways, go ahead and leave me your message down below. So in a nutshell, the question is, do you believe in paying the house that you live in? Do you believe on having it fully paid? And if the answer is yes, fantastic. That means that you want to be calm, comfortable, that you're not concerned on, multiplication in rapid, and maybe it's not the right word, the rapid, but you're not seeking for, intense growth. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. All I can say is the fact that that the end goal will determine exactly what route you should take. In my case, I prefer, to grow with intensity. And because, we're always seeking for growth, I know that I have to use debt in good debt, and the cheaper debt that we could always get, so that we can continue to grow. So businesses grow with debt. We're in a nation that, when President Nixon took the dollar from the gold standard, we became a debt nation. And, whether you understand it completely or not, that's perfectly fine. All I can tell you is go with your belief, because your belief, it's the only reality. And whatever it is, you decide. So just always remember, ladies and gentlemen, that you're one freaking real estate deal away, from changing your financial landscape. So as a conscious real estate investor, that you want your, basically your money to work harder for you, then you are going to have to use debt. All right. Have a phenomenal one. Stay, safe, stay happy, stay, wealthy, stay rich inside of you, and get to see you next time. Thank you.